Hello everyone, welcome back to Agriculture Insight. Did you know that over 2.5 million tons of instant coffee are produced globally every year? With its irresistible aroma and unmatched convenience, instant coffee has long become an essential part of the fast-paced lives of billions of people around the world. The journey of those tiny coffee packets begins in lush green plantations, where each coffee cherry is carefully harvested, either by hand or using modern machinery. From there, these black pearls go through a meticulous process that includes roasting, grinding, extraction, drying, and packaging to become fine, fragrant granules ready to energize coffee lovers everywhere. Today, let's join Agriculture Insight to explore the incredible journey of coffee beans, from the farm to the factory, and discover what makes this legendary beverage so irresistibly popular. Let's get started. The instant coffee production process begins with one of the most crucial steps, roasting the coffee beans. This is when the beans truly transform, unlocking their rich aroma and signature flavor. Modern roasting machines operate at around 200 degrees Celsius, constantly rotating the beans to ensure even roasting without burning. During this stage, intense chemical reactions take place, creating the distinct coffee aroma and deep brown color. Once roasted, the beans are rapidly cooled and transferred to grinders, where they are ground into coarse powder, the primary raw material for the extraction phase. The ground coffee is placed into high-pressure extraction tanks, where hot water, at temperatures between 150 and 180 degrees Celsius, extracts the full spectrum of flavor, caffeine, and soluble compounds. Each hour, a factory can produce up to 18,000 liters of concentrated coffee extract. The liquid extract is then sent to a vacuum evaporation system, which reduces the water content and turns the coffee into a thick, concentrated syrup. This mixture is spread evenly over a 30-meter-long conveyor belt and moved into the freezing chamber. There, at temperatures between 40 to 50 degrees Celsius, the concentrate is completely frozen, a critical step that preserves the coffee's aroma and quality before drying. Even after freezing, the coffee still contains water in the form of ice. To convert it into dry instant coffee without damaging its structure or flavor, factories use a process called freeze drying under vacuum pressure. At around 60 degrees Celsius, the ice undergoes sublimation, transitioning directly from solid to vapor without melting. This method prevents aroma loss, clumping, and preserves the light, porous texture that makes the coffee easy to dissolve in hot water. After drying, the coffee granules are collected in large containers and transferred to automated packaging lines. Jars or sachets are filled within seconds, sealed airtight, labeled with product details, and undergo a final quality check before shipping. Every week, hundreds of tons of instant coffee leave these factories, headed to supermarkets, cafes, and kitchens across the globe. Let's leave the high-tech factory behind and return to where it all begins: sun-drenched, vibrant coffee farms. Trust me, you won't want to miss the stunning scenes of the coffee harvest. During the dry season, across vast coffee fields, nature and technology come together in harmony. The most advanced harvesting machines today glide through rows of coffee trees like diligent giants, working with precision and efficiency. Equipped with up to 1,500 vibrating rods, these machines create just the right amount of shaking to detach ripe coffee cherries without damaging the plant or unripe fruit. The fallen cherries are caught by soft, wide nets that minimize bruising or contamination. Then, they move along automatic conveyors where smart air blowers remove leaves, twigs, and debris, leaving only clean, high-quality cherries. The closed-loop system ends with automatic conveyors that transfer the cherries into large containers on trailers, moving alongside the harvesters, ready for the next stage. With a capacity of up to 12,000 pounds per hour, these machines replace the manual labor of over 100 workers, significantly cutting down time and costs. Even more remarkable, this technology allows coffee plants to be relieved earlier, giving them more time to recover before the next cycle, boosting long-term yield and quality. It's not just a solution to labor shortages, but a sustainable path forward for the global coffee industry. Alongside modern machinery, hand-picking is still widely practiced in areas with steep terrain or when harvesting premium coffee varieties. Farmers carefully pick only ripe cherries directly from the branches, ensuring optimal quality. This method often involves multiple passes through the same trees to avoid collecting unripe cherries. The harvested cherries are gently placed into baskets and transported to the processing site. While time-consuming and labor-intensive, hand harvesting protects the plants and minimizes damage to the fruit. It's also the preferred method for producing high-end specialty coffee, where preserving natural flavor and exceptional quality is key. This artisanal approach reflects not only meticulous care, but also pride in producing some of the world's finest coffee, celebrated by growers and connoisseurs alike. After harvesting, ripe cherries are loaded into large trucks, each capable of carrying up to 20,000 pounds of coffee. These vehicles ensure fast and efficient transport to the initial processing stations, where quality begins. The first step is water-based sorting, simple but highly effective. The cherries are poured into large tanks where they separate based on density. Ripe, dense cherries sink to the bottom, while unripe, hollow, or damaged ones float and are discarded. In some regions, farmers still use traditional dry processing, spreading the harvested cherries under the sun for 7 to 14 days. This method saves energy and retains some of the natural flavors, but it requires favorable weather and careful handling throughout the drying period. After sorting, the cherries are sent to industrial pulping machines. Using rotating drums and gentle pressure, the machines strip away the outer skin and fruit flesh, leaving behind the coffee beans. The removed pulp is often repurposed as organic fertilizer for the next season. A great example of sustainable farming. However, the beans are still covered in a sticky mucilage layer that must be removed. This is done through natural fermentation, typically lasting 12 to 36 hours depending on the ambient temperature. Once the mucilage breaks down, the beans are thoroughly washed with high-pressure clean water, resulting in smooth, spotless coffee beans. Washed beans must be dried to reach a standard moisture content of 10 to 12%, which is essential for safe storage and mold prevention. Modern facilities often combine sun drying and mechanical drying, depending on the weather and production scale. Sun drying preserves the original flavor, but is time-consuming and weather-dependent. Meanwhile, mechanical dryers operating at 40 to 60 degrees Celsius can dry beans evenly and quickly within 24 to 48 hours, offering consistent and controlled results. Once fully dried, the beans are sent to hulling machines to remove the thin parchment layer left on the outside. This protective layer must be removed before roasting. Next comes grading, where the beans are sorted by size and weight using vibrating screens and gravity-based sensors. Larger, denser, and more uniform beans are selected. These are the top-tier candidates for producing high-quality instant coffee.
The foundation of Kit Kat's distinct taste and texture comes from its two key ingredients: milk chocolate, 73%, and wafer. The process of making milk chocolate starts from the cocoa plantations, where cocoa beans are cultivated, harvested, and processed to create the rich and smooth chocolate coating that defines Kit Kat's signature taste. Now let's come to tropical regions such as West Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia. Cocoa trees grow best in hot and humid climates. Cocoa pods, which grow directly on the trunk and branches of the cocoa tree, are harvested manually using sharp knives or machetes. The pods are carefully opened to avoid damaging the beans inside. Each pod contains about 30 to 50 cocoa beans. After harvesting, the cocoa beans are placed in wooden boxes or banana leaves and left to ferment for about 5 to 7 days. Fermentation is crucial for developing the characteristic chocolate flavor. During this process, the beans' natural sugars break down, and the beans take on a darker color and richer aroma. Once fermentation is complete, the beans are spread out under the sun to dry for about 5 to 7 days. Drying reduces the moisture content of the beans to around 6 to 7%, which is necessary for proper storage and processing. After drying, the beans are transported to Nestlé's processing facilities, where they are roasted at temperatures of 120 to 150 degrees Celsius for about 20 to 30 minutes. Roasting develops the rich chocolate flavor by breaking down acids and bitter compounds in the beans. The roasted beans are then cracked open to remove the outer shells, leaving behind the valuable cocoa nibs. These nibs are ground into a thick paste known as cocoa mass, which contains both cocoa solids and cocoa butter. Cocoa mass is combined with sugar, milk powder, and extra cocoa butter to create milk chocolate. This mixture is blended until smooth and consistent. The mixture is processed in conching machines, where it is continuously stirred and heated for 1672 hours. This process refines the texture and flavor of the chocolate, ensuring a smooth and creamy consistency. Finally, the chocolate is tempered by cooling and reheating it to create stable cocoa butter crystals. This gives the chocolate a glossy appearance and a satisfying snap when broken. While the chocolate is being prepared, the wafer production process takes place simultaneously. The crispy wafer layers are a defining feature of Kit Kat, providing the perfect contrast to the smooth chocolate coating. The process starts with preparing the wafer dough, which consists of a mixture of flour, sugar, fat, and leavening agents. The dough is mixed until it forms a smooth, consistent texture. The wafer dough is then spread thinly onto large metal baking plates and fed into industrial ovens. The baking process takes place at high temperatures, ensuring that the wafers develop a light, crispy texture. The heat causes the leavening agents to react, creating tiny air pockets within the wafer that give it its signature crunch. After baking, the wafer sheets are transferred onto a conveyor belt to cool down. Cooling is essential to maintain the crispiness of the wafer and prevent moisture from being trapped inside. The cooled wafer sheets are now ready for the next step, assembling the layers with chocolate cream. This step involves spreading a layer of chocolate cream between the wafer sheets, creating the signature multi-layered structure of Kit Kat. The process begins with a thin layer of chocolate cream being applied evenly onto a wafer sheet. A second wafer sheet is then carefully placed on top, and the process is repeated until several layers of wafer and cream are formed. The layered wafer block is then gently pressed to ensure that the layers stick together evenly without breaking the delicate wafer structure. The consistency and uniformity of this step are crucial to the final product. Any misalignment or uneven coating can affect the taste and texture of the final Kit Kat bar. Once the wafer layers have been assembled, the next step is to cut them into the familiar Kit Kat shape. High-speed cutting machines slice the large wafer sheets into individual Kit Kat bars. Each bar is cut to a precise size to ensure consistency across all products. The chocolate coating process is one of the most visually satisfying steps in the production of Kit Kat. The cut wafer bars are placed on a conveyor belt and passed through a chocolate enrobing machine. This machine creates a waterfall of melted milk chocolate, which completely covers each bar as it passes through. The chocolate coating is made from the milk chocolate mixture that was prepared earlier. The tempered chocolate is heated to a specific temperature to ensure that it flows evenly over the wafer bars. Any excess chocolate is removed using vibrating belts or air blowers, which helps maintain a uniform coating. The enrobing process ensures that each Kit Kat bar has a smooth, consistent layer of milk chocolate. Once the Kit Kat bars are coated in chocolate, they are transferred to a cooling tunnel. This tunnel is set at a controlled temperature of 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, which allows the chocolate to harden slowly and evenly. After the chocolate has set, the bars are directed toward the packaging area. Automated machines wrap each Kit Kat bar in branded foil or plastic film to protect it from moisture and air exposure. The wrapped bars are then sealed to maintain freshness and extend shelf life. The final step is labeling, where the product name, ingredients, and production date are printed on the packaging. The packaged Kit Kat bars are then boxed and prepared for shipment to stores worldwide. The production process of Kit Kat at Nestlé is a complex yet carefully managed operation that combines traditional chocolate-making techniques with advanced manufacturing technology. From the harvesting of cocoa beans to the final packaging and distribution, every step is meticulously controlled to ensure the consistent taste and quality that consumers expect from Kit Kat. And now let's take a closer look at the harvesting and processing of the ingredients that go into making these sweet Kit Kat bars. Here in the United States, around 200 tons of truffles are harvested annually, a mere speck compared to the mountains of corn and wheat we produce. Why the tiny number? Well, truffles aren't easy to grow or find. They demand the perfect combination of tree roots, soil chemistry, and sheer luck. Plus, these fungi grow slowly, often taking years to mature. This scarcity is why truffles can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars per pound. Talk about being worth their weight in gold. Literally. Timing is everything in the truffle game. The best time to harvest truffles is during the cooler months, typically from late fall to early winter. Why? That's when they've developed their signature aroma, an earthy, nutty perfume that makes foodies weak in the knees. In the US, Oregon is the truffle capital, thanks to its truffle-friendly trees like Douglas firs and hazelnuts. Other states like California and Washington are also making their mark in the truffle scene. But how do we find these underground gems? Enter our unlikely heroes, pigs and dogs. When it comes to finding truffles, humans are practically useless without a little help. That's where pigs and dogs step in, acting as nature's ultimate truffle detectors. Let's dive into their unique roles and the techniques that make them indispensable in the world of truffle hunting. Pigs have an innate talent for sniffing out truffles, thanks to a chemical compound in truffles that mimics a pheromone found in boar saliva. This makes truffles irresistible to pigs, especially females. Their powerful noses can detect truffles buried up to a foot beneath the soil, and their enthusiasm for digging them up is unmatched. However, there's a catch. Pigs love truffles so much that they often try to eat them. This leads to a literal tug-of-war between farmer and pig. Imagine a 200-pound sow wrestling with her handler over a truffle worth $500. It's as chaotic as it sounds, and while entertaining, it's not exactly efficient. While pigs have been traditional truffle hunters for centuries, their food-motivated nature makes them a bit of a liability. Plus, their size and strength can lead to damage in truffle orchards. This is why many modern truffle hunters have shifted to using dogs. Enter the dogs, who have become the preferred truffle hunting partners for modern foragers. With training, dogs can detect truffles just as accurately as pigs, but without the appetite for the prized fungi. Popular breeds for truffle hunting include Legato Romagnolos, a curly-haired Italian breed, and even Labradors and Spaniels. Training a truffle dog takes time and patience. It begins with teaching the dog to recognize the distinct scent of truffles, often using samples hidden in training grounds. Once the dog associates the scent with a reward, usually treats or playtime, they're ready for the field. In the forest, these dogs work closely with their handlers, sniffing the ground and signaling when they've found something promising. The bond between dog and handler is crucial. It's a partnership built on trust and mutual respect. Once a truffle is located, the human forager steps in to extract it. Harvesting truffles is a delicate operation that requires precision and care. Using specialized tools, foragers carefully dig around the truffle to avoid damaging it or disturbing the surrounding soil too much. The goal is to leave the root system intact, ensuring the tree can produce more truffles in the future. The harvesting process is not just about skill, but also intuition. Foragers need to determine the exact ripeness of a truffle based on its scent and firmness. Harvesting too early means the truffle won't have its full flavor, while waiting too long risks it rotting underground. It's a fine balance that comes with experience. This process is time-consuming and labor-intensive, but it's also deeply rewarding. Each truffle unearthed is a small victory, a testament to the skill and dedication of the forager and their four-legged or four-hoofed partner. It's not just a job, it's a labor of love, and a dance with nature's rhythms. After the truffles are unearthed, their journey is far from over. These fungi are incredibly perishable, so speed is of the essence. They're quickly transported to processing facilities where their transformation begins. The first step is cleaning. Freshly unearthed truffles are often covered in soil, so they're gently brushed and rinsed to reveal their bumpy, fragrant surfaces. Afterward, they're sorted by size, quality, and type. Premium truffles are reserved for fine dining, while the rest are destined for delicious truffle products. Top-tier truffles are carefully packed into breathable containers to maintain their freshness. These gems are then shipped off to restaurants and gourmet markets, where they'll be shaved over pasta or infused into oils. It's a short but glamorous life for these fungi. For the truffles that don't make the fresh cut, the fun is just beginning. Factories get creative, turning these fungi into a variety of products. Fresh truffles are infused into high-quality olive oil, creating a luxurious ingredient perfect for drizzling over salads, pizzas, or anything that needs a touch of magic. Truffle sauce. Think of this as Truffle's greatest hits album, a rich, flavorful sauce that pairs beautifully with steak, pasta, or even fries. Truffle chocolate. Yes, you read that right. Truffle-flavored chocolate might sound odd, but the earthy, umami notes of truffle pair surprisingly well with sweet, creamy chocolate. It's the dessert you didn't know you needed. Each of these products undergoes rigorous quality control to ensure they deliver the signature truffle experience. After all, when you're dealing with culinary gold, there's no room for error. You might think truffles grow anywhere, but these fungi are picky. They'll only flourish in the roots of specific trees, like oaks and hazelnuts. Truffle farming begins with inoculated saplings, which are young trees that have been treated with truffle spores. These saplings are planted in carefully prepared soil, where they'll grow and, hopefully, produce truffles in a few years. Farmers must be patient. It can take 5 to 7 years before the first truffles appear. During this time, the soil's pH levels, moisture, and nutrient content are closely monitored to create the perfect environment for truffle growth. It's like raising a particularly finicky child who refuses to eat anything but gourmet meals. Truffle orchards also require regular maintenance. Farmers prune the trees, manage competing vegetation, and ensure the soil remains rich in nutrients. The effort is enormous, but the reward of a thriving truffle orchard is worth every ounce of sweat. Truffles are a testament to the beauty of nature's complexity. From their mysterious growth underground to their luxurious role on our plates, they're more than just fungi. They're a culinary adventure. While the U.S. may only produce 200 tons a year, every ounce is a testament to the dedication of farmers, foragers, and furry friends who make it possible. So the next time you enjoy a drizzle of truffle oil, or a decadent bite of truffle-infused chocolate, take a moment to appreciate the journey that brought it to your table. After all, truffles aren't just food, they're a story, and it's one worth savoring. The first and most critical step in mushroom farming is preparing the growing medium. American farmers approach this process with great care. They start with simple, natural ingredients like straw, hay, chicken manure, and a touch of gypsum or lime to balance the pH levels. The straw and hay are soaked in water to soften them, making it easier for microorganisms to break them down. Once softened, everything is thoroughly mixed with chicken manure, which serves as the primary source of nitrogen. This nutrient-rich blend is then transferred into large composting chambers, setting the foundation for successful mushroom cultivation. Inside the composting chamber, microorganisms break down the mixture, transforming it into a nutrient-rich growing medium. This process requires careful monitoring and strict control of temperature, humidity, and airflow to ensure optimal conditions for decomposition. The result is a clean, nutrient-rich growing medium, perfectly ready for mushroom cultivation. This medium is transported to the growing area using modern conveyor systems and evenly spread onto trays or racks by automated machinery to ensure consistency. While the process might seem straightforward, every step must be executed with precision, as even a small error can affect the quality of the entire mushroom crop. Typically, mushrooms take about 2 to 3 weeks to fully develop after being inoculated. During this time, they are carefully nurtured in a strictly controlled environment with precise regulation of temperature, humidity, and oxygen levels. Once the mushroom caps reach their ideal size, ranging from 2 to 5 centimeters to 12 centimeters in diameter, depending on the variety, they are ready to be harvested. The mushroom harvesting process is a critical step that combines modern technology, precise techniques, and the skilled hands of workers. Depending on the scale of production and the type of mushrooms being cultivated, farms may use different methods, but they all share the same goal: harvesting quickly and ensuring the highest quality for each mushroom. In large-scale farms that produce millions of mushrooms each year, machine harvesting is the most common method. Specialized mushroom cutting machines with sharp blades are designed to trim the stems precisely at the base, ensuring the caps and stems remain intact and undamaged. The harvested mushrooms then drop directly onto a moving conveyor belt positioned below. The conveyor belt transports the mushrooms to an automated sorting area where advanced sensors evaluate each mushroom's size, shape, and quality. Mushrooms that meet the standards are directed to the packaging area, while those that don't are removed. This method not only boosts efficiency and productivity, but also minimizes errors and saves time compared to manual harvesting. Some advanced farms have adopted robotic technology for mushroom harvesting. These robots are programmed with high precision, using flexible robotic arms to gently lift each mushroom from the growing medium without damaging the caps or stems. After harvesting, The robots automatically trim the roots and place the mushrooms into storage trays. Thanks to intelligent recognition technology, the robots can sort the mushrooms on the spot based on their size, shape, and quality. This method not only ensures consistency, but also significantly reduces the time and labor required for post-harvest processing. The robots can work continuously, boosting productivity while ensuring that every mushroom meets the highest quality standards. Even with advancements in modern technology, manual harvesting remains the preferred choice for many farms, especially for delicate mushroom varieties. Workers use specialized cutting tools to carefully pick each mushroom from the growing medium. Mushrooms are sorted immediately during the harvesting process, then placed into trays for packaging preparation. This method is particularly effective for small farms or when producing premium mushroom varieties. Some farms, however, opt to place harvested mushrooms directly onto conveyor belts that transport them to sorting and packaging areas. This approach streamlines the transportation process, ensuring that mushrooms stay fresh and maintain their quality by the time they reach consumers. One of the greatest advantages of hand harvesting is the ability to ensure consistent quality. Each mushroom is individually inspected during the picking process, allowing workers to discard any that show signs of blemishes, pests, or overripeness. This level of care ensures that only the best mushrooms make it to market, meeting the high standards expected by consumers. Hand harvesting also allows farmers to adapt to the specific needs of different mushroom varieties. For instance, delicate types like oyster mushrooms require extra care to avoid breaking their thin caps, while sturdier mushrooms like shiitakes can be handled more confidently. This versatility makes hand harvesting an essential practice, especially for specialty mushrooms often sold at premium prices. Despite its many benefits, hand harvesting is a labor-intensive process. It requires a skilled workforce, and the work can be physically demanding, as pickers often spend long hours bending over growing trays or logs. However, the result is well worth the effort. The precision and care of hand harvesting ensure that mushrooms arrive fresh, intact, and visually appealing, ready to be enjoyed in kitchens around the world. In a world increasingly dominated by automation, the tradition of hand harvesting mushrooms remains a testament to the value of human touch in agriculture. This artisanal approach not only preserves the quality of the product, but also highlights the dedication and expertise of the workers behind every basket of mushrooms. After harvesting, mushrooms are transported to the sorting and quality inspection area. Mushrooms that meet the standards are processed on automated packaging lines. Here, they are weighed and neatly packed into boxes with the correct size and quantity. Each box is then labeled with all the necessary information, such as product name, production date, expiration date, and stored in cold storage to maintain freshness. For canned mushroom products, the mushrooms are sliced, thoroughly washed, sterilized, and packed into cans or glass jars. This process not only preserves their freshness, but also extends the shelf life of the product, ensuring quality and convenience for consumers. Mushrooms are not just a staple ingredient in everyday meals, but also hold significant economic and cultural value for Americans. With an annual production of hundreds of millions of pounds, the mushroom industry contributes billions of dollars to the national economy and creates thousands of jobs across farms, processing plants, and distribution networks. In American cuisine, mushrooms play a vital role, appearing in everything from salads and pizzas to nutrient-rich vegetarian dishes, valued for their versatility and high nutritional content. Beyond food, mushrooms are also used in medical research and biotechnology applications, contributing to sustainable development and environmental protection. But how do American farmers achieve such an incredible feat? It all starts in the cherry orchards, where hard work meets modern technology in a race against time. In the world of cherry farming, timing is critical. Cherries are not the type to wait around. They have a very short window of ripeness. Farmers must act quickly to harvest them at their peak, ensuring they're firm, juicy, and bursting with flavor. Too early, and the cherries are underwhelmingly tart. Too late, and they risk becoming soft, overripe, and prone to damage. Farmers often rely on a combination of visual cues and technology to determine the perfect harvest time. They look for the right color: deep red for most sweet cherries, a golden hue with a blush of red for Rainier. Additionally, they measure the fruit's sugar content using a refractometer, ensuring each cherry is sweet enough to pass the test. Once the cherries are ready, it's time to harvest. And this is where things get exciting. Harvesting cherries is a team effort, involving both human hands and mechanical marvels. Hand harvesting cherries is a meticulous and labor-intensive process, reserved for the most delicate varieties like Rainier. Skilled workers carefully pluck each cherry from the tree, ensuring the fruit and its stems remain intact. This gentle approach helps prevent bruising, preserving the cherries' pristine appearance and taste. Workers often start early in the morning, taking advantage of the cooler temperatures to maintain fruit freshness. While slower than mechanical methods, hand harvesting ensures only the ripest cherries are picked, delivering top-quality fruit that's ready to dazzle in markets and on dining tables. For many cherry varieties, farmers use mechanical shakers. These machines clamp onto the trunks of cherry trees and give them a good shake, causing the ripe fruit to rain down into large nets spread below. It's an efficient method, allowing farmers to harvest large quantities in a short amount of time. Watching it in action is like witnessing a cherry storm, a blur of red fruit and green leaves. One of the major advantages of mechanical harvesting is its speed. A single shaker can cover several acres in a day, vastly outpacing the speed of hand-picking. This efficiency is especially critical during the cherry season's short harvest window, when timing is everything. However, machine harvesting isn't without its challenges. Not all cherry varieties are suitable for this method, as softer fruits can bruise more easily. Additionally, the initial investment in equipment and training is significant. But for many large-scale operations, the benefits, higher yields, reduced labor costs, and quicker turnaround times, make it an invaluable tool in modern cherry farming. By combining precision engineering with agricultural expertise, machine harvesting ensures that American farmers can meet growing demand while maintaining high standards for quality and efficiency. use of mechanical shakers for cherry harvesting is becoming increasingly popular on American farms. These machines have revolutionized the industry by offering a faster, more efficient way to collect cherries compared to traditional hand-picking methods. Designed to gently shake the tree trunks or large branches, mechanical shakers cause ripe cherries to fall into specially designed nets or catch frames. This method significantly reduces labor costs and allows farmers to harvest large areas quickly, which is crucial given the short ripening window of cherries. As technology improves, these machines are becoming more precise, minimizing damage to both the fruit and the trees. While not all cherry varieties are suited for mechanical harvesting, delicate types like Rainier often still require hand-picking. The adoption of shakers is a game-changer for sturdier varieties. In an era where efficiency and scalability are vital, mechanical shakers help American farmers stay competitive in the global cherry market, ensuring consumers continue to enjoy high-quality cherries at peak freshness. Once harvested, cherries don't waste any time getting to the next step. They're immediately cooled to preserve their freshness and flavor. Cooling is essential because cherries are highly perishable. Without it, their quality would decline rapidly. The cherries are placed in cold water baths or hydro-cooling systems to bring their temperature down quickly. This process not only extends their shelf life, but also helps maintain that satisfying crunch when you bite into one. It's like sending cherries to a spa day after their hard work on the tree. Now that the cherries are cooled and ready, they embark on the next leg of their journey, factory processing. This is where cherries are transformed into the various products that fill our grocery stores and pantries. The first step in the factory is sorting and grading. Cherries arrive in massive bins and are loaded onto conveyor belts, where they pass through a series of inspections. Advanced technology, including optical scanners and laser systems, helps sort cherries by size, color, and quality. The best-looking cherries, the ones that meet the highest standards, are designated for fresh markets. These are the cherries you find in the produce aisle, plump and perfect. Cherries with minor blemishes or imperfections are not wasted, though. They're set aside for processing into other products like jams, juices, and dried fruit. Next comes the pitting process, which is both fascinating and a little sad for the cherries. Special machines remove the pits with remarkable precision, leaving the fruit intact. Watching these machines in action is mesmerizing. They're fast, efficient, and somehow manage to pit thousands of cherries per minute without squishing them. For products like canned cherries and cherry pie fillings, pitting is a crucial step. No one wants to bite into a cherry pie and find a surprise pit waiting for them. Cherries are more than just a tasty treat. They're a significant player in the U.S. economy. The cherry industry generates millions of dollars annually, supporting farmers, workers, and businesses across the country. From the orchards of Washington and Oregon to the processing plants and distribution networks, cherries provide jobs and contribute to local economies. In American culture, cherries hold a special place. Think of the iconic cherry pie, a symbol of home-cooked comfort and a staple at holiday gatherings. Cherries also feature prominently in classic songs like "Life is Just a Bowl of Cherries," reminding us to enjoy life's simple pleasures. The journey of a cherry, from blossom to your table, is a remarkable one. So next time you bite into a cherry, whether fresh, in a pie, or atop a sundae, take a moment to appreciate the hard work and dedication that went into growing and harvesting that little gem. After all, life's just a bowl of cherries, so let's savor every bite. Hope you'll enjoy it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notified when our exciting videos go live. Goodbye.